Hey, welcome back everyone. So in today's episode, I'll be going over how to make our very own double jump. Not the one that's in the game, no, okay? And I'm going to explain a few things as well, but I just prefer making my own, so why not, it's quite easy and doesn't take too much time either. So, let's start off. So what I have here is that nice little wanted poster as a power up, and then when I go through, well, now I have double jump. Haha. So let's start off. So yes, I'm going to be going over how to get the BP human inside of your level without it crashing and whatnot. My good buddy, Mr. Pikminator, already went through all this, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to go through it as well, just to kind of help out a little bit, because this is kind of, to me, the best way of doing it, because if you're going to be modding any changes that you do to the BP human, you'll have to add him inside, and preferably you shouldn't be changing the originals of anything. You should be making duplicates. But the moment you make a duplicate of the BB human, then you have to, in the game mode, get a reference and all that stuff, which is just hell. So I'd rather just not go through and show you guys that. Right? So without further ado, let's just start. First things first, go to your content browser, write BP_human, and just drag this guy in. Alright, I already have mine in. If you want as well, like I said, my good buddy already went through this stuff, but I'm still gonna just glance through it very, very quickly. If you want to go check out Mr. Pikminator's tutorial, he explains it in full detail. So what you can do once he's in is you just go down to mesh, and you could change his static mesh to the player kid, which is what I got. Just make sure that your BP human anim is on is the same. The other thing in your search, if you write possess right here under pawn, we have auto possess player and AI. Just go over here. Yours will be on disabled. Just put yours to player 0. And after doing that, well, you'll have the kid if you change the mesh, but you'll also have a way of referencing the BP human, which we couldn't always do. And there's some events and things that there's just some things that we couldn't get in the level blueprint, and that's where most of this code's gonna occur, is in the level blueprint, just for simplicity's sake. So before I go over any of the blueprint stuff, I just want to explain. If you go to edit and click on project settings, it'll open like this thing here. Just go down in engine under inputs, and right here you can start seeing all these will be closed for you, but if you just open action mapping and like you leaf through a few of these, you'll see we have input jump, which is our space, input action, which is our E, input drop, right mouse, and so on and so forth. What we want to affect is the spacebar jump, so it's called input jump, so keep that in mind. And I think it's time to actually go and make the blueprint. So I'm just going to remove all my jumble of code, remove my variable, and let's delve in. So if you remembered, we need this to this is like our input. So we're going to get an event for input jump. All right, so this basically is connected to this right here. So it's basically saying whenever you press whatever button is connected to this name, input jump, which in this case is space, will then do blah 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 blah. So after that, what I want to do is pull off the press and write in do n. All right, so this node is just a node that will do X amount of times, or N amount of times in this case. And in our case, it will be 2 times for double jump. If you put 3, well, you'll have to add more pins for other things. But more or less, you can get the gist of it if you follow correctly. Next is you pull off the counter and just write switch off int and connect the exit to the execute, or the execute to the 2 executes. And over here, hit the add pin so we have 3 of them. All right. The next thing that we're going to need, and this is why I prefer doing it this way, is a reference to the BP human. So once you have your BP human selected, you go back to your level blueprint, and we're going to right click and create reference to BP human. After which you pull off, and we're going to write jump and get the jump function. So this is already a pre-made function that's inside of the character. Can be found in it, but the only way to access it in level blueprint is to actually have a reference to him, and the only way to have a reference, well, was to actually have him in the level, and this was the only way. So now at this point, if we press 1 time, we'll jump. The second time, we'll technically jump, but then after that, we won't anymore. So we'll need a reset value afterwards, but we'll get to that in a second. So now we kind of need a second jump. So for this one, since this one's already determined and it's the normal standard jump for Hello Neighbor, well then we're gonna have to, for our double jump, make a kind of new node. So a launch character node is what we're going to be adding, and connect the 2 to the 1. After which, well, let's put we want to basically we want to launch the character, so we want to move his velocity a certain amount on a certain axis. And in our case, if we look right here, it's the under the transform location. If we pull up, we can clearly see that it's the Z value that we need to affect, right? Or quick little glance, just see the blue is blue, and green is green, and red is red, quite simply. So now we kind of have an idea that we have to affect the Z axis. So under here, I'm going to put 500. So once we hit the second one, will be launched, the character, the BP human inside the level, so us, will be launched up by 500 units. Okay, so now we need we need our reset values. Sure. For this one though, it's going to be a little bit different. If you were in your BP human, there's a function or an event, that's called on landing, which we could have used and just plugged it in. So it's basically right when you land, do whatever. And in our case, we would want to reset this because, like I said before, this will do it 2 times, and then the rest of the code will never happen again unless there's something to reset it. So the only thing that makes sense to reset this whole code is once we land. But we can't get the on landing inside level blueprints. So what we're gonna do is right here, we already know that we're launching the character up by 500 units by its velocity. So what we're gonna do is drag off the BP human, and we're gonna get the velocity. So this way we already know we're getting it. And if you see here, we have a return value, right? But all we want is the z-axis. So if you right click on return value and split the struct, then we can grab on the z, right? And then what we want is to basically make kind of like a check, if you will. So the check that we're going to be doing is a smaller or equal to float, right? Now, what we kind of need now is an event, since we don't have the on landing. So what we're going to do is, since we need to keep checking this, we'll put this on the event tick. All right. With the event tick now, we are going to branch out, okay, and plug our smaller or equal to 0. So if you guys are following right now, we're basically getting the velocity, and then we're seeing if it's equal to 0, so if you're actually landed, if you're on the floor, then reset. If not, if you're not doing this, well, don't do anything. So don't reset, and you'll be able to do your whole jump. So now at this point, technically right now, all worked out, we should have a double jump. We should. And best way to check is, let's, boom, yeah. Woo! I got my double jump. Woo! Cool. So now, unfortunately, by doing it this way though, we've kind of locked it in. So no matter what happens, right when you start the game, the player will have double jump, which I don't think you guys want. So what I did is I went out and just in my own folder for my own little toys that I've been making and trying out. I just came out and I made a power up. All you guys got to do is right click blueprint and hit the actor base. Name it whatever you want. I called it BP power up. You can name it whatever you want. Just remember the name, because we're gonna come back to it later. So actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just do it together. Forget it. Come on down. So great. I shouldn't have maybe done that. Hate that when it does that. It takes like forever for deletion. That's just because I probably had things connected to it. And yeah, I had it open. And I had it in the level. That wasn't smart. I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, let's maybe go over a few of the things. So basically what we're going to want to do is create an object that when we collide into it, for one, we want it to probably disappear if it's going to be a power up, right? So when we collide within the object, one, disappear, and two, we're going to set a value, which afterwards we're going to make, or we're going to check inside of our level blueprint if that value has been changed. And I might have crashed. Did I? Nope, there she is. She finally woke up. Sorry about that. So, closed everything. Holy moly. Alright. Waste more of my time. Okay. So now we're fresh. Woo. Let's right click inside of probably your modding folder. Would be my best guess, but you can do it wherever. Just remember this blueprint needs to be in your mod folder. Actor and BP underscore pick. Oh, I have cap lock on. BP underscore pickup. Okay. And now I don't have my level blueprint, and I don't have nothing. Nothing's open. Everything's opening everywhere. Good job. Okay. So let's open up this guy and let's have a little hack trick here. Window, content browser, and open up my second one. And let's go to objects, meshes, and I like that poster just because it was flat. So I'm just gonna touch that, have it selected, go back to my blueprint, Let's just drag off of these so I can see stuff. And we are going to add a static mesh dia wanted. And as well, I want to add a box collision. I'm going to call this trigger. And then let's take it all. And I can't. Okay. We'll grab that. Let's just make it bigger. Okay. So with this guy selected, the trigger, let's right click, add event, collision, on begin overlap. Let's add a new variable called, there, that's not a good variable. Name your variables correctly. Was hit. Yeah, that's so much better. Alright, hit the little eye. Probably don't need to hit that, but I just do it. Next is we want to check when we are going to hit with our character. So we pull off the other actor, cast to BP human, and we are going to take this and set it to true. So the moment he walks in, that'll happen, and we kind of want to destroy it as well. So I'm just going to add a delay just so it happens as you're walking through it, and destroy actor. And then we're going to leave it to self because we want to actually destroy it. So let's compile, save, and we are done with that. Now, what I'm going to want to do is add two things. So first things first, let's add a sequence to our event, and let's cast to BP pickup, and we can actually now take our pickup, put it in, size it up, and turn that around so it's nice and there. And then with it selected, we can now make a reference to the pickup, pull off, get owner of trigger, connect to object, and we want to get was hit. So we're going to get that value that we created, that variable we created. Over here, we're going to create a new variable called hit. Again, not the best name. And drag it and set. We're going to connect, and yeah, we're going to connect that. Now we have all this. We need to now check if we've hit it. So let's do a branch and then put the hit here. So if we hit it, then we can double jump. If we haven't hit it yet, then just a normal jump. Just connect that the false to the jump, and now we should have a full-fledged pickup system if everything worked right. Come on. Come on. Things going so slow. Is that all good? Yep. So we'll go in, have it by 2, and if it doesn't happen, yep, okay. So this should, I say should. So we press space twice, a million times, nothing happens. Let's go run into our poster. Poof! Oh no, poster, where'd you go? Haha! But I have my double jump, so it doesn't matter. And there you have it. So now you guys can actually make your own little double jump. It's again not the way that they do it inside the game, but hey, this way you can make your own. You can change your own things if you guys want to. If you guys are feeling very adventurous, you can add like a dash function. So when you're in the air and you press, say, I don't know, forward twice, I don't know, you can maybe do like a dash. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just giving little ideas. But at this point, the one thing, actually, yeah, this is a good point. if you guys are going to be making multiple levels, I know it's a pain in the butt, but you're just going to have to add, so remove that and this and the sequence and just have it going straight in and having this going straight in. And then basically you just have to remove the last pieces for the pickup and just put this code in your level blueprint, as well as having your BP human inside, and it will now work for the next levels afterwards. So that's, I think, it. If you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, just drop them all in the comments below, and I'll do my best to try and answer you guys. So I'm going to leave you guys at that, and have some fun building or coding your own double jump. Alright? Take it easy, guys.